Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So, Washington Commanders got some really good news overall for injuries with Deebo Samuel, Jaden Daniels, and some other guys expected to play. We'll talk about it in today's video. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. So, the Commanders, they had a big day today of practice. I believe they're already there at LA doing what they need to do for practice. And I'm a little behind. Did have a career fair today, trying to get a job. If you guys can help me out, please go ahead and do so. But was out all day. But now we're back, and let's go over some of the injury stuff. So Jaden Daniels, nothing really needs to be said about him. We knew he was going to play. So basically from early Sunday morning last week, they were like, yeah, he's not playing today, but he will be playing on next week very likely. And then while this week unfolded, every day it was like, all right, either his mom put out a tweet like he's coming back home to LA and playing, or Dan Quinn said he's practicing and then said he's cleared, and then today it was official. He's going to start on Sunday, which is good. Obviously helps out the team a lot. Like Mariota, he filled in nicely. Was he perfect? Obviously not. Jaden's not perfect either. But the first game he helped us get a win, and 1-1 with Mariota. It is what it is. That's you really wished it would have been 2-0, but they didn't lose that Falcons game because of him. I think they would have won the game if Jaden Daniels was in. I don't think he throws that bad interception and misses a couple of passes, but Mariota was far from was at the bottom of the list of reasons we lost the game. He was far from the biggest reason why we lost. So shout out to Marcus Mariota, but he's the backup now. Let's talk about some other injuries. So Deebo Samuel, he is going to be he's going to be good to go for this game, which is good. He's been dealing with a little bit of a heel injury, so that's really good news for the Commanders that he's able to go. And then because Deebo's been the best offensive player for the Commanders. I mean, Terry's been out for 2 games, and yeah, Terry. I mean, what? I mean, this is going to be his second game out, and he was out for some of that Raiders game. And then besides that, no one really has stepped up. Offensive line wise, some guys have been good. Larry Tunsil's been pretty good. The penalties have to get cut down, but he's been very good. Especially as a pass protector, and some of the other guys have been fine on the line as well. Zachary's been all right, but Deebo's been the guy that's been really good for the Commanders, and he's maybe not 2021 Deebo, but he is pretty close to that. Let me see, trying to pull up. We'll go ahead and pull up Deebo's stats real quick for you guys so you guys can see. He's had a really good year, and we kind of knew this as Commanders fans that he would have a good year so far, or he would have a good year for the Commanders. And so far he absolutely has. So 22 catches, 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far. So I mean, that's on pace for. I mean, he's on pace for a really good season. He's on pace for a really good season compared to what he did last year. He also has 2 touchdowns already, which is 2/3 of what he had last year. And he's not running the football like crazy, but still running the football pretty well. Has 46 rushing yards, so 250 yards exactly on the dot, and we were at the quarter mark. So, or not even the quarter mark yet. Once we he's on pace for, I would say, if we count the rushing yards and everything, like 1,100 yards, because there is that extra 17th game. So, he's at 250 right now with 3 touchdowns. So he hasn't been insane. He's not 2021 Deebo, but he's closer maybe to 2021 Deebo than he was last year. His version of Deebo, 670 yards. It just wasn't the same type of player. He's definitely not 2021 Deebo, which was insane, but he's also not getting all those opportunities. So, he's done a really good job this year for them. Definitely the lowest, if you look at it, yards per catch he's gotten in his career by a significant margin. I mean, 2 yards per catch is the closest he's been, to the 9.3 is, a difference of 2, which is in 2022, he had 11.3, but he's had a good season as a second option in the last, game as the first option for the Commanders, and we'll see if he can continue to do that with Terry McLaurin out for another game and Noah Brown also out for another game for the Washington Commanders. So that is unfortunate news there with Noah Brown. John Bates, I didn't see anything about John Bates. I'm assuming he's playing in this game. We will see, but I think he is going to play for the Commanders this week, so that's good. So he said everyone's full go except for the 3 players who did not travel and been ruled out: Terry, Noah Brown, and Sam Godfrey. So that is excellent. Absolutely excellent news. I'm going to go over the rest of the injury report just listed out here for you guys from yesterday and kind of give you guys updates on that. But real quick, a word from today's sponsor. And a huge shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you guys go ahead and check them out. They got a new deal where you get a free $20 entry. All you got to do is just sign up, and also my code, you can still use my promo code Pedro on Sleeper and get 100% match up to $100. It's a really good deal. You put in 10, you'll get 20, and you can win real money on Sleeper. We're 3 for 4 in terms of weeks where we're getting winning plays and winning weeks. So make sure you guys check out Sleeper. All right, so now let's get into the full injury report for you guys. This was Thursday's. The Friday one hasn't come out yet, but we kind of know, at least for the Commanders, what the deal is here. And all these guys that practice in full, they're good. And then you got Deebo and Mike Sanderson DMPs on Wednesday and Thursday, but they're good to go for the game. Deron Payne showed up on the practice squad as a limited. He's good to go. Miller is good to go. Ale Cajo is good to go. Had a concussion after that big special teams hit. Sam Cosmi practiced Wednesday and Thursday. He's out, but that's really good news there. And then Percy Butler limited. He's going to be good. And then Nick Bellore should be good, and John Bates is good, and Dorrance Armstrong good too. So that's really good news there. And the Chargers, Joe Alt, I know he's out for this game. And then where is it? Derwin James. Let's go ahead and check out into enemy lines here and see what they said. So questionable is Mekhi Becton, and I guess that's it. Joe Alt and Darius Davis are out. Will Disley is questionable, their tight end. And who was that last name? Tucker Fisk was questionable as well. So those are the guys. Obviously, the big name is Joe Alt, and their offensive line already is not very good. So without him, it's going to be awful. So the defensive line, if they're going to eat, this is the game to do so. Darius Davis, knee injury. And then Mekhi Becton's probably that second, biggest name, and he's questionable with the concussion injury. So who knows if he plays, but if he's down, that's another starter that's down, and that offensive line is in real trouble. And I think we have a really, a good opportunity there to, make some plays and get a win if, Mekhi Becton's out. And even if he's not, Joe Alt is out for this game, and, he's their best offensive lineman. Rashawn Slater's been out, so, for this season. So Joe Alt's been their best offensive lineman, and he's going to be out. What you got to worry about for the Chargers, their receivers. They got a nasty trio, and this year's been Quentin Johnson, which is crazy considering his first couple years in the league weren't that successful, but he's been on a tear. 4-game streak of really good football, and he's their number one. You got Keenan Allen, who, Unc still got it. He's been pulling out, and, he's kind of taken that role a little bit from Ladd a little bit. And Ladd's still a really good receiver out of Georgia, but he's, his production's way lower. And I know if you took him in fantasy, you're not happy. Guess what? All those guys are going to eat against Commanders. So if you're a Chargers fan, don't worry. Ladd will probably get back on his feet this week. Keenan Allen, I have him in one league. One or two, I know I'm starting him for sure in one league, and if I have him in that other league, I'm starting him because this Commanders defense is not in a good spot, especially the secondary. And Mikey Sanderson is good to go, but he hasn't been playing well. I'm interested to see what changes they make to this team going into the game. After that Packers game, that big loss, going into that Raiders game, they made changes. They benched Brandon Coleman. They benched Allegretti. They put in Wiley. They put in Chris Paul. Those changes seem to have worked. Now let's see on defense what they do. Maybe they bench Lattimore. I don't know if they will. Maybe they move someone, make Mike Sanders outside and kind of switch something around. Maybe they switch up the safety position. I don't know, but something's got to give. Maybe it's not a starting change, but it's a little bit of an adjustment. Maybe, Bobby Wagner doesn't play 100% of the snaps. He plays like 90, just some of those obvious passing situations, you take him out. And not only that, taking him out for those situations, but you're also keeping him fresher, which is really good as well, and puts you in a really good spot. So those are, I'm not saying keys to victory or anything, but just things I wanted to talk about going into this game against the Chargers. But we'll have an update video tomorrow on maybe some guys that call up, depending on who they call up. And then also I want to talk about one of the guys that they're bringing in to work out. I forgot his name. That's why I'm going to have to, research it and make the video. I think it's Drake Jackson, the former 49ers guy. So, if you guys stay till the end, I'll go ahead and pull up, his name here. But I actually do like this, not signing, but they're working him out on Saturday. So I don't think that's a, bad move whatsoever for the Commanders. I mean, go ahead and bring in some edge rusher help. We need it. Javonte Jean-Baptiste, he's out. So for a while, Drake Jackson. So that is who, if I said his name, well, there it is, Drake Jackson, and he's visiting with the Commanders, Jets, and Ravens. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. The audio might be a little bit different. The camera might be different, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out Sleeper. Peace.